I'm Lizzie Harrison for Card Player TV, here with Joe Comisso. He won the $5,000 buy-in six-handed event at the World Series. Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you very much.
So tell me, do you play a lot of six-handed poker, a lot of short-handed games?
Yeah, I play a lot of short-handed games online. I'm mainly a six-max and heads-up specialist.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing now for 3.5 years. I've been playing six-max. I don't think I've ever played full ring.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what skills do you use to be successful in these games? I mean, you've obviously enjoyed some success if you stuck to them.
I mean, I suppose the same skills like transfer between full ring and shorthanded. Only you have to open a lot more and play a lot more hands.
Yeah.
The post flop skills take a lot more because people's ranges are much wider. So reading hands and making thinner calls and thinner value bets and that sort of thing.
All right, well, let's talk about this tournament a little bit. What prompted you to enter it? I saw you haven't really played a lot of tournaments, not a lot of tournament success prior to this.
I've probably played 15 tournaments in my entire life. And
wow.
And
you've been professional for almost 3 years, 3.5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I just, I kind of detest tournaments,
So what prompted you to enter this one?
My friend David, he just said how weak the fields are and whatnot.
David Benefield?
Yeah, and I don't know, he basically just goaded me into doing it, and so I did it, and that was that.
So were you just running over the competition from the beginning?
I wouldn't say I was running over them, but I ran good. You have to run good to win a tournament. I didn't really run good so much as getting it in bed and winning, but I was lucky to not get unlucky. Like
your
most
good
of my
hands were not cracked.
Right, and I had a lot of flops, which was I was fortunate enough to show up with hands when I needed a hand. When I was getting in the big pots, I was hitting flops and that sort of thing. So yeah, I ran really well. Yeah.
So what types of mistakes did you see players making? David said the fields are so weak. How could you explain that better?
They just, one thing like they just can't handle the wider ranges. People just opening so much more in six max than in full ring. I mean, you have to. There's less people.
And they were getting intimidated. Some of the players.
I don't know if they were so much getting intimidated as much as they were just flat out lost. They just can't,
They were clueless.
Yeah, like in full ring, you might open, say like 20 sets of hands. I don't know, I'm just throwing that number out there. Because in six max, it's correct to open maybe 60. You know what I mean? And when you're only used to saying 20 and then, you got 60-20, they can't really, read hands well, that sort of thing.
Well, let's talk about the final table a little bit. Six players at the final table, obviously. The first three were out in less than 30 hands.
Yeah,
what was going on there?
Well, there's kind of a couple of cold decks. Two people had overpairs and ran into sets, and they couldn't really get rid of their hands in those spots. I think it was like aces and kings versus sets or something like that. The one person, Tom Lutz, I was really happy when he went out because I thought that by far he was the best player there.
He was going to be your toughest opponent.
Right. Well, not the best player.
No,
besides
I understand.
me, of course. Yeah.
I got you, Joe.
But he would have been my, he's who I had pegged who would have been the toughest competition. So when he went out, I felt really good about it. And as for the other guys, everybody played well.
Right.
To get that far.
There.
And, I don't think, when they got three-handed, I don't think that they were used to that sort of aggression. And, I've focused on nothing but heads up recently. So.
And you were dominating during three-handed play.
Right. And they kind of got ran over, I don't know if they just, I probably just started, opening so fast and playing so many hands that they just didn't have time to adjust.
Right, it was
chaotic. That was going on, and that was exactly my plan. Like, in the beginning of the final table, if you notice, I didn't hardly play any hands.
Right, you just sat back.
And I actually had hands a couple of times that were, well worth opening, but I just figured I was going to sit back, and then once it got three-handed, I just, I think I played every pot for the
totally
first
12
hands.
at that point.
And then once it got heads up,
it took forever. It was a record-breaking heads-up match.
But in the very beginning, I really, really, really thought it was going to be done in 20 minutes.
You thought it was three hands,
I had so much momentum when it was three-handed, and then I had a nice chip lead on the kid, and I really just thought I was going to run him into the ground and take off, and I did for the most part. I ran him down, and then he'd double up. So then I go back to work, and I run him down, and then he'd double up.
I saw he was all in, 12 times, and he doubled up? 12 or 13 times?
12 times. He was all in 12 times for his tournament life. And he won every single time.
Every time he doubled up.
He won every single time. Yeah.
So what was that like for you? That must have been battering, like, emotionally.
I was trying not to think about it. I wanted the bracelet.
Can the best hand ever? Because you had the best hand most of the time, right?
I think it was like 9 out of the 12, or
yeah,
I remember
nice percentage of the time
I remember two specific times that was really short. And he shoved, and I ended up making crying calls with, like, King 9 or something.
Yeah, right.
He had me dominated, so he was ahead there. But most of the times when we were getting him in, probably like 9 out of the 12 times, I was ahead and I lost.
Yeah, and you guys played 209 hands heads up,
pretty
which
sick,
was a record for the World Series poker.
Yeah.
It's never been a heads up match that long.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. I mean, I don't know. He ran really good in all-ins. Like, I just couldn't put him away.
So what was going through your mind on the last hand of play? You have ace-queen. You clearly have him dominated. Do you think he's going to double up again?
For whatever reason, like, it's funny because I almost expected to lose the other 9 times. I don't know why. I just had a bad feeling about it.
You felt good about the ace-queen?
But then after I won the big pot before the ace-queen, which was the 7-9, which was the first all-in that I got it in way behind. And
you came out on top.
Right. Well, not way behind.
Yeah.
But, I'm like 30% there, but I got it in behind and I won. And then after that, I had the momentum. And when I flipped up the ace queen, I knew that one was the one. Like, you could probably see my whole body. Your
demeanor just changed.
It did. I was excited. I was clapping like I was ready for the flop came out. I knew that. I knew that was the hand I was going to put away.
And it was. Congratulations,
Joe.
Joe.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming up to talk to me.
Thank you.
Lizzie Harrison with Joe Comisso for Card Player TV.